He is an illegal alien, a foreign terrorist, and a criminal MS-13 gang member who violated our country's laws by coming here in the first place. And shame on Senator Chris Van Hollen and the entire Democrat Party, who wasted Easter Sunday going on every television show in the country to advocate for the return of an illegal criminal gang member. There is a litany of evidence proving this individual's ties to MS-13 that has been confirmed in two different courts. There have been multiple law enforcement officers who have affirmed his MS-13 gang affiliation, and this is who the Democrat Party is advocating for. It is ridiculous. The president, this White House, the entire administration will continue to focus on deporting these illegal alien gang members and criminals from our nation's interior and enforcing our country's immigration laws. That's what the president was reelected to do. And I would add that the overwhelming majority of Americans continue to support the deportation of illegal criminals. A recent CBS poll showed that 89% of the American people support deporting illegal criminals from our homeland. So the president will continue to do that while Democrats continue to trip over themselves, while ignoring American citizens whose lives have been forever impacted by the actions and the crimes of these illegal criminals, like Patty Morin, who we were so honored to have at the White House to share her daughter's story just last week. Senator Van Hollen has never called her, has never reached out to her family, yet he has spent hours now fawning over this illegal alien who is tied to a vicious gang that has taken the lives of American citizens. It's unbelievable.
So why didn't CNN and MSNBC show the press conference yesterday? They knew about it. Everyone knew about it. They said there was going to be a surprise guest. All morning news cycles were talking about it. And MSNBC and CNN chose not to show a press conference. In this press conference in particular, the special guest was actually the mother of a victim of MS-13 violence who lives in Maryland. Now, the same time that was going on, the senator or whatever from Maryland was making his way down to El Salvador. But CNN and MSNBC chose not to show that press conference. Why?
Donald Trump is losing. He's losing the narrative around these deportations. He's losing in court. And now he's losing, and he's telling us he's losing, by sharing what is being said is a doctored photo of Kilmar Abrego Garcia's hand.
4 House Democrats are in El Salvador this morning trying to secure the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. This comes just days after Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen's visit. We heard from the senator just a few moments ago. The lawmakers say they plan to meet with Salvadorian officials at the U.S. Embassy to advocate for Abrego Garcia's return and get information on the other migrants who were deported to a notorious Salvadorian prison.
But look, President Bukele, who's declared himself a dictator, and the other tyrants, dictators, autocrats of the world have to understand that the Trump administration is not going to last forever. We're going to restore strong democracy to America, and we will remember who stood up for democracy in America and who tried to drive us down towards dictatorship and autocracy. So I'm glad that Chris Van Hollen showed exactly where America is, and we're not afraid of any dictator anywhere.
So we have the latest from Karoline Leavitt and this MS-13 Maryland man, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't remember this dude's name until somebody says it, like Abrego or something.
There's 3 words, which they normally say if you have a first, middle, and last name, it's because you're a serial killer.
So we start off with Karoline Leavitt, and also how she mentioned how the Democrats spent Easter grandstanding about this. I guess we're trying to frame it as like the overreach of the president and just bypassing due process.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it has nothing to do with who this guy is and how he came to be and the laws in which were broken to get to this point.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's interesting that in order to make their points, they feel the need to travel out of the United States to, what is it, Venezuela? Is that where he's at?
They feel the need
for El Salvador. Where is he at?
For us to pay for them to travel.
That's the part I was
to
getting
El
to.
Salvador.
Yes, the taxpayer money.
For the margaritas I think were on the house. Or at least it was happy hour.
Somewhere.
Moving on to some young lady here with this TikTok reel, maybe, calling out how CNN and MSNBC both refused to air the press conference from the White House, which happened to be Patty Morin. Patty Morin having lost her daughter to illegal migrant violence.
Mm-hmm.
And then we move on to the other side. Now, the other side, I think, falls into the Midas Touch Network category.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to paint this picture, create this idea, develop this dialogue around President Trump holding up a doctored photo.
Mm-hmm. Which a lot of people, unfortunately, that watch Midas Touch and stuff like that are going to think is real, and they're just going to run with the bullshit.
Well, you want to know why they claim it's doctored?
Why?
Because someone added letters and numbers above the knuckles, the tattoos on the hand, to insinuate what they meant.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like you have a marijuana leaf, a smiley face, a cross, and a skull, and they put MS13 on top of them to like, so they're saying it was doctored in that way.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Play on words, but I get it. That way you can't necessarily say it's entirely clickbait, but by the title and thumbnail, which is an AI hand with, five fingers instead of 4. Trump got caught, and it says Trump loses control as fake photo blows up in his face. It's not an invite from the Impossible Mission Force that will blow up after you read it and self-destruct, or even from Inspector Gadget, but apparently it blew up in his face. And then we move on to MSNBC, and MSNBC goes on to say that the president needs to act. Lawmaker leads group to El Salvador and yada, yada, yada. BS, nonsense, bullshit. Jamie Raskin making threats against those who aren't continuing to drink the Kool-Aid being served to them. But really and truly, this is where it all breaks down for me.
Okay.
If for some reason one of the two parties makes it very difficult, we're just going to say you're foolish, you're fools, you're horrible people, and we're going to just take a pass.
And so I feel like these people, they're fools. They're foolish. They're horrible people. As we deliver the truth, they deliver their own form of their own truth, maybe.
All right. So how I want to just frame all this, put this all in the context. So this is the White House that is flailing. It's failing. They are clearly not up to the task, but they're also losing. They're losing in the courts. They're losing on the national stage. They're losing on the world stage. And so let's keep up the pressure because it is working. We are winning. They are losing. And God damn it, the Supreme Court made a good decision. Okay. Now let's see if Donald Trump follows that decision. And we'll see that. We'll see if that happens. But I am feeling more hopeful than I have in a long time. And that feels good. And I hope you feel hopeful too.
He sounds stupid.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But he made me think about a question. And it's like, well, I want to feel good, you know? And honestly, sometimes bringing this shit to light doesn't make me feel good. But more importantly, winning and losing. Winning versus losing. Who's winning? Who's losing? Like, if you think about it, I mean, Donald Trump's the president. We've won. Illegals are being deported. We've won. The border has been shut down. We've won. But what does he mean when he says they're winning?
That's what's crazy to me is like the fact that we're supposed to be the United States of America, but clearly we are the divided states of America, and not even the divided states of America, the divided people of America. When you hope for the failure of who's in office. Even when Biden and Harris were in office and I thought they were trash, I didn't want them to fail because that hurts us as citizens of this country. It hurts the country. So for the left to sit there and be gleeful because they think that Trump is doing something that is considered failing, it lets you know that there is not a patriotic bone in any of their bodies, and they're all extremely stupid because if President Trump fails, it hurts our country, the economy, the jobs, the people, the everything. So why would you sit back and cheer on the failure of who's in office?
When the pandemic was doing its pandemic things, I was for Biden to get baby formula to the families that needed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think that this guy or anybody like him or MSNBC or CNN or anybody really
is going to say anything positive about Donald Trump. About
for the better of for people.
Mm-hmm. They don't. They look at the tariffs and think they're bad. They don't see the positive outcomes.
No, they don't look at the tariffs and think they're bad. They look at the tariffs and say they're bad.
That's true. That is also something to really take into consideration. How many of them say things that they actually believe as opposed to just parroting things that they've heard?
Winning, losing. I feel like what they're doing is only helping people lose, because they're never going to allow any sort of balance or different perspective to the conversation and things that are being done, and they just continue to perpetuate this narrative and this story and this lie, mainly for their own benefit, because they get views, people watch, and they get paid. They make a lot of money doing this.
My favorite thing is when Biden was still in office, the left was, he's your president, get over it. Cool. Well, now President Trump is in office and I can easily say he's your president, get over it. Yet it causes temper tantrums and vandalism and just absolute chaos. But it's one of those things of, why are you willing to sacrifice the country just to try to be right about something?
Biden is sketch, especially from the standpoint of how last year the Easter Bunny was able to move Biden away from reporters. And who was in that Easter Bunny suit controlling Biden?
Very good question.
It's like when they showed this past Easter, it's like the Easter Bunny's not going to control Trump. You had so many different people manipulating Biden, even to the point where they were signing documents with the auto pen without him even being there. Alex Hormozi posted this up, and it says, "How to stay poor. Keep starting new things rather than getting good at one thing." And for some reason, this resonated with me. And what all I just consumed here and shared with everybody. And I'm thinking, maybe I should go start something new.
I was about to say, because I look at that and I don't agree with it. And generally speaking, I agree with Alex Hormozi, but I don't agree with it. Getting good at one thing, if it's not something that you can legitimately be good at, it makes more sense to start something new. Because in order to get good at that one thing, you had to start it. It was a new thing that you started. You know what I mean? So that's how my brain looks at things.
But it's just what I want to do is I want to help people. I want people to win. I want people to be more informed and better educated and everything that comes with it. And so at the same time, I don't really want to continuously dive into the BS, nonsense, lies, fake news, minutia that is what it is. So I'm like, I'm gonna go do something different. I'm gonna go to a different channel. I'm gonna do something different. But I have gotten really good at one thing, and that's helping people.
I was about to say something else. But continue on.
Two things. One of which I can do on YouTube. And I'm just going to have to keep doing that. I'm going to have to keep doing that and distance myself from this nonsense. It's almost like I don't even want to do this anymore, but I do want to keep helping people. So it's where's that balance?
So that's where I've been the last couple of weeks. People will, why aren't you talking politics anymore? Sometimes it feels not helpful sometimes when you talk about politics, because it feels like sometimes anger moves its way in, and anger isn't helpful to anybody.
Well, anger finds its way, and anger will then create videos for which you shared of other people then taking your content to react to
Yeah.
for that purpose, to
Yeah.
create that anger.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's very helpful.
No.
I don't think that's part of winning. I don't think anybody wins there. And I think it keeps people poor.
Mm-hmm.
And although I'm changing up how Alex Hormozi phrased this, I don't want people to stay poor.
Correct.
We've had extreme success. And I'll let you read these because you're a part of this as well.
All right. This one says, this is from Leeway 42. It says, this chapter is really going to help me, new to the disabled game. And because I got SSDI back payments, I've been losing benefits. And my healthcare was the main one. I got sent a Medicare booklet, but I'm not up to looking at knowing full well I won't understand any of it. Thank you for being there. Man, those booklets are not, it's like an IKEA how-to with the Allen wrench and nothing makes sense. Booklets are hard.
But you know where this is coming from.
Yeah. Somebody who watched one of your videos where you talked about how Chapter can help people in the Medicare situation or scene try to understand what is happening, what's going on, and the best way to have your A, B, C, and D.
Thank you for being there. Like literally, that's all I want to do.
Yeah.
That's all I want to
Yeah.
do. Not come up with this BS nonsense and say we're winning versus losing.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to help people.
Mm-hmm.
Always win.
Yeah.
We got another comment.
Hi, Kevin. I called Chapter, spoke to Brandon, and starting in July, I'll be able to drop my company's insurance. I'll be saving $400 a month on my insurance. Thank you! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. $400 a month? That's like a good 10 dozen eggs.
I want to follow up with this and say, well, how much does that cost you? How much did it cost you to make a free phone call?
Yeah. That's huge, though. $400 a month?
$400.
Well, because you got to think, there's I guess you can have company insurance and be on Medicare at the same time, like especially if maybe your spouse has company insurance or whatever.
No, they're going to drop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, can you be on both at the same time? Or because don't you have to get Medicare at 65, right? Oh, that's true.
So, like you both don't turn 65 at the same time.
That's true.
And it's just like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And all right, look, I'm not going to sit here and toot a horn and pretend like this is what's going to happen every time.
It'd be cool as shit if you'd pulled out a horn and tooted it, though. Continue on. This one is from Rhonda. Says, thanks, Kevin and Michelle. I called the number concerning free Medicare help. They said I had a good plan. I'm going to keep what I have. Thank y'all for looking out for your viewers. I love both of y'all's YouTube channels. Which is the whole thing. It's like trying to. This
honestly, I'm happy someone was saving hundreds. I'm even happier that people are saying these are legit people.
Yeah, they don't need to change anything, not changing anything.
They're just helpful. They're really just helpful.
Yeah.
We got one more.
What up, Kev? This is from Patrick. I was wondering what the banner across your site was all about, but I saw how you explained how it could help a big portion of your viewers, and I've read people's comments about how Chapter is helping their loved ones tremendously. Kudos to you, man. Smart man. Way to shut those naysayers up. That's just the perk. Shutting up the naysayers is the little cherry on top, the icing on top.
Yeah. Look, I see a lot of comments. I get it. I understand. But at the end of the day, I don't want to sit here and create this falsehood, this fictitious idea, this clickbait that we're winning or losing when in fact it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And really and truly, I don't necessarily want to do something else or start something new. I want to keep doing what I'm really good at doing, which is helping people. I think. I think that's.
I mean, outside of YouTube, that's kind of what you've been doing your whole life, is helping people just in different ways, shapes, and forms.
Now, I will be spending more time on another channel, but it's going to be a completely different topic, completely different subject, completely different niche category. And if you find me there, great. But even over there, I'll still be helping people. But here, I think that our partner Chapter is huge. And if you haven't called already for your free Medicare help and free Medicare consultation, they're waiting on you. 270-467-2426. And you can tell them Kevin sent you, or
Michelle? Squirrel tribe?
I don't know.
I'm not part, I don't know.
I don't know. But Michelle does mention it.
Oh, yeah, because my audience needs to know. I mean, no matter if there's something good out there, I'm going to tell people about it no matter what it is. And this just happens to be extremely good, I think, especially for the fact that there are a lot of people that watch our videos, his and mine, that are in the age range where this could be extremely helpful, beneficial, especially in today's economy. You know, before President Trump can get everything really moving, the prices are still pretty high. Inflation has been a bitch the last 4 years. And there are a lot of people who, even if they're only going to save $7 a month, that $7 can make a massive difference between a meal on this day or not.
Free call, free Medicare help, free Medicare consultation. 270-467-2426.
We need to make up a jingle, like the flooring ones. We need a jingle.
And hey, yeah, if anybody's got any suggestions for a jingle, let me know. But also, please come back. Please leave the comments. Please tell us your story, whether it was you were on the right plan or they found you something that was going to save you money or anything else in between. That way we can then share that with more people and continue on with this helping as many people as possible. If you like the video, subscribe, check out the links down below. Call Chapter 270-467-2426. Thanks, Michelle, for joining, and we'll see you guys later.
Okay, bye.